All right, so parallel bars. First thing, any assisted device, fitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know if these are the correct height?
At the wrist.
At the wrist. So stand up for me real quick. Let's see what we got. Okay, they're a little high. Okay, go ahead and do it from the outside. It's always best to do it from the outside.
Stand
So
straight
down
up.
about 1. Go ahead and sit back down. Make sure it goes in all the way. These have gotten real. These are the dollar store version of parallel bars.
This one hasn't been lowered yet.
Didn't lower at all.
No. The way you lower it is not to unscrew it, but to pull out the...
There. Oh, that one's a pull. Okay, they look level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if you go back to the PowerPoint that you saw, or if you go back to your textbook, they show a more realistic version of parallel bars that you will see in the clinic. They are usually bolted onto their own wooden platform. Besides adjusting the height, they also have the width adjusted. And so usually what you have to do, because they're on a platform, a big wooden base with a slant, you usually want to pull the whole wheelchair up and inside the parallel bars. We can't do it with these because they're too narrow. But if you're in the clinic and you have a decent set of parallel bars, you will be able to pull them up that little slant ramp and into the parallel bars, park their wheelchair inside the bars, all right? Get the fitting so that they have that 30-degree angle, and then you're going to be ready to go. With ours, we can only get her close. We can't get her in. Okay. Now, the other thing about parallel bars is guarding. With every other assisted device, we guard it from the side. We can't guard from the side because then that would put a bar between us and our patient. And if they started to fall, we wouldn't be able to stop them. I've actually seen that happen. I actually saw, there's actually a PTA student at a place I was working at part-time years ago. She wasn't my student. It was kind of one of those things when you see something happen and it's like slow motion.
Yeah.
And I looked up, I saw what she was doing, I knew the patient, going, that's not good. And right when I'm getting ready to say something, the patient went down. Okay? And she couldn't stop them. So we'll talk a little bit more on that. But so we're actually going to be in front of them. Because usually the people you put in parallel bars, again, this is our most stable device, requires the least coordination. So our people with the worst gait skills, we're going to stand up here. Because they can hold on to it, they can pull on it, it's not going to go anywhere. Plus, we're right in front of them, we have maximum control of this patient, all right? Everything else is going to be the same, which means when she's going to stand up, where's she going to put her hands? Yours.
We'll push up on the wheelchair. And then
The wheelchair.
grab
So, and before she even pushes up, what's she got to do first?
the- the-
Just get to the edge. So I'm going to tell her to lean forward. I'm going to use my favorite if she can. I want you to push her here, and I want you to scoot to the edge. Okay? Reposition your feet. Now, on our sheet parallel bars, this bar gets in the way, and it's not stable. So I'm going to put her feet behind that. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to put them in front. Okay, that's the best we can do. Okay, which means when she stands up, she's going to lean forward, use the hand grips. And patients, look at how close her hands are to the bars. Patients will want to grab the bars. Do not let them. I'm going to reach around, so it's going to almost look like a transfer. Okay, and go ahead and stand up. And then grab the bars once you're up. Okay? Now here's what's nice about this. If Tara is so weak, she can only take a few steps. Okay, what I can do is I can have her move her hands forward. Go ahead and step forward. Now try to move your hands yourself. And keep going. If these were good parallel bars and she got tired, what could I do?
Your tech can
Be
bring it up.
pushing it.
My tech could bring the wheelchair up to me and I could sit her down. Another way I can do it, and I've done this a lot, is good parallel bars are open at both ends. I will sometimes put a chair at the other end and literally let them walk from one chair to the other. But that way that Kim just mentioned, pulling up the chair behind them, is probably the best way. All right? Because if we have to turn around and sit down, I've got to turn with her. Okay? Like right now, if she walked all the way down here, so go ahead and slide your hands forward first. And step forward. Okay. If we had to walk back, I have two options. What are they? Okay, so turn. If I want to turn you around, step around a little bit. Take steps. Actually, take steps. Right when she gets about here is when I'm going to tell her, okay, step around a little bit more. Now put your hands here. Now I'm behind her. Now, is this the best place to be for guarding?
No.
No, it's not the best, but if I trust her, I could do this. Or what else could I have done?
You could slide
Little magic turn.
by her.
I could turn, what's that?
When you turn her, you could come around.
I can come with her. So here's what we're going to do. Step around, step back a little bit here, bring this hand here, and come around.
Peter would say the little dance.
The little dance, that's right. And now I could walk her forward, and then we'd have to do the little dance again. Do you see how awkward that gets? And if she's not a very good ambulator, that gets nasty. Okay, a little magic healing, and spin around again. Okay. Let's do another version. Let's say that I think I'm going to need help. All right? Where's that second person going to have to go?
Well, it's the side.
What's going to be the problem with behind?
The wheelchair.
That's the wheelchair. So what's our other option? Side. So that's what I would do. So Michael would come up here, and if she's generally weak, I would just pick a side. If she had protected weight bearing on one side, or let's say she's a stroke on one side, then where would I put her?
Weak side.
On the weak side or the protected weight bearing side. So we'll say that she's a hemiplegic on the right, and I would put Michael on the right, behind me, and now we go. Now Michael's not in the best position, but he will be able to help some. Okay? So that's pretty much the rules for parallel bars.